League fans, my name's Steve Mascord and it is January the 8th, 2025, first episode for the year. If you are listening in the UK, you might be getting a bit of a sneak preview of this late at night on Tuesday. You might be getting a bit of a sneak preview of the January 8th show. I'm coming to you from Leeds. I am in the north for a couple of media days. This is when the Super League clubs invite the media down to gather, interview, content, put stuff away to be used later in the year, later in the month, later in the week, whatever. It's trying conditions up here. I've got to tell you, I hadn't seen any snow yet this winter until just turning off the motorway on Monday night, arriving into Wigan and driving across the M62, which in part of it is the highest motorway in the UK. Lots of snow. So I'm all snuggled up in a hotel room now in Leeds and not in a hurry to go anywhere. Today's a great episode because you'll be hearing from a lot of Wigan players as they get ready for Vegas on March 1, taking on Warrington, of course, at the Allegiant Stadium. You'll be hearing from Jai Field, Adam Kieran, Jake Wardell, Liam Marshall. Also, we had a bit of a chat to the captain, Liam Farrell. Kaide Ellis was another fellow we had a chat to, and Liam Byrne. So it's a bumper hour ahead. I don't know, I'm going to jam all that stuff in, actually. Today's rugby league birthdays, and there's some very familiar names. Bobby Hagan, born in 1940, 85 today. I knew him as an official, mainly during the Super League period at Canterbury, but he played for Australia, Queensland first, New South Wales first, New South Wales City, Brisbane first, North Queensland, and Canterbury, of course, where he ended up as an official. Roland Beckett, the great hooker who from Cronulla and Nice, he turned 70 today. Happy birthday, Roland. Just going further down, a guy who I used to love watching play, Jason Moon, who sadly we lost it in 2017. But he would have been, he was born in 1967, so he would have been 2 years older than me, which would make him 57. He actually would have turned 58 today, Jason Moon. Wayne Singh turns 57. Rod Maybon, who was born, he's actually younger than me. He turns 55 today, the great little halfback. Jason Stevens, international prop forward come filmmaker, 52 today. Just looking at a few other. Kurt Haggerty played a fair bit of football for Ireland. He is 36 today. Josh Jackson. He is just 34 today, the Canterbury forward, and the former Golden Boot winner, can't forget this guy, James Tedesco, turns 32 years old today. So news-wise, pretty quiet in both hemispheres. Big story around, I think, is the Papua New Guinea player, Kevin Appo, who's fled the UK after being charged with rape and sexual assault, and now there is an extradition procedure underway. So there you go. Okay, so after the break, we'll be back with our first guest, and I think it was the speed demon himself from Wigan Warriors. It's Liam Marshall.
As promised, we're at Wigan Media Day. I've got Liam Marshall here. Liam, for those who can't see what the weather's like, the people listening, how would you describe it?
Pretty bleak. It's about 1 degree and it's been snowing for about 3 days, so it's a lovely January morning in England. That's what I describe it as.
It's tough. I guess it's a bit tough for the boys coming back from Oz, who just and New Zealand, been in the sun.
Yeah, the lads from the southern hemisphere coming back and taking photos like the tourists. I think it's very, very different to what they're used to. Obviously, it's your guys' summer at the minute, so they've gone from training 40 degrees to 1 degree. I think big Kaide had to borrow a couple of jumpers off me the other morning for the hill session because he was cold. So yeah, it takes me a bit of getting used to, but no, they'll get there in the end.
The black ice is pretty treacherous too.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about Vegas, mate. Have you been before as a tourist, or you been for a wedding or a stag do? Or?
Yeah, I've been for my own stag do in 22, so that was a very good experience, and I'm looking forward to getting back there. It's a monumentous occasion for rugby league. Last year, the spectacle that was put on was outstanding, and the fact that just in its second year we're able to be involved is incredible. And I think it's a massive round of applause to our backroom, to our CEO, to our owner for sort of putting the investment in and putting us out there, and we're just very lucky to be involved in it. I think it'll be an amazing weekend, and from what I'm hearing around the town, there's a lot of Wiganers going over, so it should be very, very special.
When did the boys start talking about it? When it was announced? Did you know before we did?
I remember pulling up on the training ground car park, and literally a couple of hours before it was announced on Sky, I just bumped into Chris Radlinski, our CEO, and he just said, we're on for Vegas. It had been sort of hushed rumours, and sometimes you hear a lot of rumours about different things in different places we're going to play, and I thought maybe this one was a load of rubbish. And then when it was announced, it was just sort of like, wow. And then everyone's been amazed. I think lads were intrigued how long we'll be going for, whether we get to see much of the city, but just to be involved in the game, to take Wigan and Warrington. I don't think there's two better teams to go over there and play, and to be involved with the NRL teams, and obviously the big international women's game will be very good as well. So no, we're all very excited.
The narrower field in the NFL stadium, I think. So is that? Do you prepare for that, or you've got two games before, which is you're a bit different than NRL sides, haven't you? You've got two comp games before you go over.
Yeah, so we'll play obviously two Super League games before we travel over. And in terms of the prep, with it being a smaller field, it may just be something that we look at in the week, short on our training pitch, or sort of bring our sidelines in on the training pitch to have a look at. But yeah, I think it'll be prepared exactly the same, really. Obviously the travel and things like that will be different, and maybe a couple of our sessions pre-game will be actually over in America. So yeah, there'll be a few different bits done, but I think all in all it's just to sort of treat it as another game, because as much as it's a big stadium and a massive arena and a big spectacle, it is just two league points at the end of the day. So we want to go over there and win. We don't want it to be a holiday and come away with nothing.
How was the stag do?
Very good. Yeah, it was enjoyable. I think my experience then will be slightly different to how it'll be when we're over there playing a game. But yeah, I'm just lucky. I hope I can see some different sights in Las Vegas than what I did when I was over there for the stag do. Yeah.
Did any of your teammates go to that?
No, it was just a couple of my really close mates from school, and my brothers and my dad and that. So there was about 12 of us. It's difficult with the off season when the lads, a lot of them flying home and stuff and different things on. But no, looking forward to getting back there.
And finally, as far as this section is concerned, I guess outsiders will just go, well, you won everything last year. How do you keep it fresh? How do you stay motivated? How do you go to the next level? We had a psychologist. We're at the media day. We had a psychologist who just talked to us a little bit about that. But from your point of view, how do you kind of all you can do is win everything again, you know? Yeah. And there's one less trophy. So,
yeah, I suppose we can only really plateau, and that'd be another incredible season if we did that. We can only really do exactly the same as what we've done, which is obviously tough to start a year knowing that. But I think, as cliche as it is, you're going to have to take each week, each month as it comes, really, and just sort of see how it goes. I think the expectation will be for us to go and do it again. I think everyone will be looking for us to go and do that, and we know under no illusions that that's not going to be straightforward. That's not going to be an easy thing, and it's probably going to be very, very difficult. With winning all those 4 trophies, as much as it's great for us on the field, it brings a bigger target on your back for next year. So I think just to stay motivated is us as individuals. I think as a professional, you've got to come in every day wanting to improve and wanting to get better, and there is still some areas we can improve on, and things we can do to get better. So hopefully next year we can kick on and have another good year. A lot of things have got to fall into place, injuries and how you get your results at different times of the year. So it's going to be a long old year, and we'll just sort of take each week as it comes and see it.
We're back at Wigan's Media Day, and I've got Kaide Ellis. Kaide, we're just talking about the weather. A bit of a shock to the system. You've just been back in Oz.
Yeah, it's a different change. Obviously nice and sunny, summer weather over in Australia, and got back last week, and from what I hear, it's been the worst week so far. So in terms of weather, so it's a good experience. A bit of snow, but it's definitely not nicer when you don't have the training, that's for sure.
Now, we just heard, we're upstairs, we were lucky enough to sort of sit in on a team meeting, and we just heard Coach Matty Pete say that Patrick Mago was allowed to go home this year, and he's often previous seasons he's stayed here and been expected to train here. How does that conversation take place? Is it when you decide to join the club you talk about it, or is it a year-to-year basis, or how do you figure that out whether you're allowed to go back or not? You know?
It definitely is a year-to-year basis, all down to individually as well. Luckily, the last 2 years we've been lucky enough to win the grand final, and that's quite late in the year, mid-October. So, I've been lucky enough to do it the last 2 years. Haven't had to come back to January. Paddy unfortunately had to stay last year and do the full pre-season. But it's up to you and Matty, I suppose. End of the year, if you're going well and the team's doing well, that's a conversation you have then. It definitely is individually and it's between you and Matt. And once there's trust there and you earn that, and obviously you're getting a long break, so you got to come back in good nick, and that's a big thing. If you come back and take the mickey while you're away and don't do the train, and everyone else is back in November, so they're trusting you as well, and you got to do the right thing. So everyone's come back in good nick, so surely in the future you can keep doing it.
Can you hear what you want on Christmas Day?
Yeah, just try and train hard as you can before that, and a bit of leeway. So definitely Christmas Day, do a bit of training Christmas morning, then tuck in all day. So it's like a rewards, it's good.
Now, Vegas, what's your history with Sin City? You been there before?
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to go there for my 2018. Went with a couple of mates. Only had 3 days there, so that was enough. Takes a lot out of you, so but looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to playing on a big prestigious stage like that. NFL stadium, whatnot. A lot of teams playing. It's a good vibe. So then hopefully we get to experience the off-field stuff as well. Getting to wander around and hopefully have a good win and go out and have a good night.
Do you know any blokes in the NRL sides that are going?
Yeah, I've got a couple of mates that obviously had a couple of years at Penrith, so I'm still close with a lot of them. Got a lot of family going as well, and got a mate that plays for the Warriors as well, so hopefully catch up with all of them if we're there long enough. And got a lot of family from Dubbo going across, so it should be good.
Wow, from Dubbo, you got it. Wow. And has anyone here addressed the team specifically about Vegas? I don't mean about behaving. I mean just generally about the opportunity and how important it is to the club and the logistics. Has that happened yet, or is that in the future?
No, we've not touched on it. I think from memory, the back end of last year when it got announced, and sort of we got told before it was being announced, and sort of realised what an opportunity it was, and Rad's made it happen, and sort of spoke about it in that sense. But logistically and whatnot, we'll talk about that when it gets a little bit closer about what we want to do. And it's a big thing for rugby league, not just Super League. So I'm sure we'll have a big conversation about that leading into it.
We heard you upstairs also say that you were impressed with the level that the guys are at for this stage of the pre-season. Outsiders would wonder how you kind of get yourselves up again after winning everything, like mentally and as far as motivation and personal kind of drive. You know what I mean? So how do you?
It is a hard thing once you. I suppose you probably talk about the first one we won. That was hard, and to win two is very hard. But for me personally, it's the same goal. You don't start the year wanting to lose. So we want to keep being successful and getting better and winning games, and then later in the year you start talking about winning trophies when it comes present. So I think that's the positive thing about it. Everyone's got that attitude of getting better, and even the young kids that have come in, they're going to want to play in the team. So it's positive.
And we're back at Wigan Warriors Media Day, and I've got Jake Wardell here. Jake, I just asked you before I started recording, but there's a whole heap of media here. People obviously can't see, they can only hear, so we'll describe it. But you'd be kind of doing this anyway, is that right?
Yeah, obviously we've got certain stuff on certain days that we like to do, and obviously today is one of them days where we'll have a bit of a gym split. We'll have a few lads in the gym, and then a few lads out on the track, just tidying up skill, trying to get the fundamentals right. Just trying to practice those core skills.
It's really early in the year, isn't it? So this is when I guess you came back in November, did you? And the Southern Hemisphere guys have just got back, this week?
Yeah, obviously with the England test as well, there's been a bit of bit more lads coming in a bit later on. So yeah, I think the young lads have been in from the back end of November, and they've been training really hard. And from then on, it's just about integrating everyone in. And like you say, I think everyone's in now, so this is time where we can actually try crack on and get a bit more rugby specifically.
Matt, are you thinking about round one, or are you thinking about Vegas?
I think it's hard, obviously, not to look past Vegas, but it's obviously it's one of them. It's a long season, but I think the old cliche, look week to week. We've got obviously a tough test at Lee. Well, Lee are coming here on the round one, so I think focus on that, focus on the week after, and then obviously we can look to Vegas and enjoy that whole experience.
Have you been to Vegas before?
No, I've never. So it'll be an experience for me, and I think it'll be an experience for a few of the lads, and obviously the sport's coming over. It's going to be a great occasion, so it's something we're really looking forward to.
I think a couple of them have been on for stag do's and stuff, right?
Yeah, I think some of the lads have been on stag do's and things like that, like you say, and they've certainly enjoyed the time, so I think they'll be the ones showing all us the ropes.
Now, tell us, outsiders would go, if you won everything, how do you kind of motivate yourselves, or what's the next Everest to climb? There's one less Everest this year because there's no World Club Challenge, so maybe even your friends and family might even ask you that. What do you tell them,
I think the reason we play the game is obviously to win as many games as you can, so we want to enjoy ourselves whilst we do it. And yeah, obviously everyone who plays any kind of professional sport has that competitive edge towards them, so I think my motivation is obviously everyone wants to do it all again, but again you can't look past Lee round one, so I think everyone will talk about just do it again, this, that and other, but I think obviously the reason we play is to enjoy it and obviously to win games, so it starts on week one.
Yeah. Back at Wigan Warriors Media Day here at Robin Park. I've got Jay Field here. Jay, bit of you were just saying, contrast in temperature for you over the last week.
Yeah, I got back in on Friday at about midday. Left Sydney and it was about 30 degrees, so coming straight back here to the snow now is a bit different.
It's a short pre-season because they play so many matches here. I mean, is it how hard is it? I know Ellis said in the team meeting upstairs that he was impressed by everyone's hit the ground running. But how hard is it to find your rhythm, especially after so much success last year, and sort of get focused again? Is it difficult mentally?
Little bits more so, not so much mentally, more so, some people don't touch a ball for a few months since we're finished, so you're just trying to pick your skill back up quickly. Mentally though, I think it's pretty good. We've had the same sort of squad now for 3 or 4 years, so we have that continuity already, really, so it makes it easier to just come back and, you just jump straight back into sort of where you left off.
Yeah. Now tell us a little bit about Vegas and how much that looms on your horizon. Have you been thinking about it much?
Not too much myself, only when people sort of mention it to you, and then you sort of remember that you're going over there, but there's still a lot of training and a couple of games to be played before you start to get really excited about it.
Does it feel like more than a comp game though? I mean, it is just a comp game, but it's a big stage, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Anytime you get to be on an NRL schedule, I think is a big occasion, especially for like the English game and us Australians that have come out of that competition. So obviously once you get there, you'll definitely be excited and look forward to it then.
Have you got many friends and family travelling for it?
Yeah, I've got a few friends. My family's coming over, obviously a couple of mates as well. They're jumping on the back of, so it'd be good to have them all over there.
Have you been before?
No, I haven't been before. No.
Right. And just more broadly, firstly, when you went back, with every game last year being on TV back in Australia, did you find that the awareness of Super League had changed, do you think, by more games being televised, more people watching, more awareness, or was it the same as always, or how did you find it?
I'm not too sure really how to answer that one. It's hard to sort of answer when you're in it, you're the one playing, and so you don't really take much notice of that. But I just think the World Cup Challenge and then obviously the Vegas stuff come up, so I think you started to get a bit more attention for the English game, in that sense.
Yeah. And what about having achieved so much last year as a club, and then having to I know it was a bit like the first question, but more about the mental preparation to climb Everest again after achieving so much last year. How do you approach that? Is that an individual thing, or is it a team thing to get up again and to get focused and try to outdo yourselves?
Yeah, I think it's sort of a different challenge. The previous years we were sort of the ones that were chasing after it, and then last year and then again this year, people are going to be coming for us. You're the top team, so everyone wants to knock you off. So you get the best version of everyone every time you play someone. Everyone wants to test themselves against us. So it's always a tough game. So I think it brings a sort of new challenge in that sense, where we're not the ones chasing them. We're getting hunted. So your preparation has to be right in that sense, knowing that you're going to get the best version of everyone.
Yeah, Matt. The other thing I was going to ask you was about are you? Do you think now you're going to finish your career over here, or is that the way you think things will play out, or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm not too sure really. I've only got this year sort of left, and then see what happens after that. But I'm open to anything. Obviously, my partner's Australian as well, so obviously if something come up to go home, you'd obviously think about it. But obviously you're leaving here also, which is a great club. So you got to weigh things up when the time comes, I guess.
You got an agent in Australia, have you, working for you? Who are you with?
I'm with Dave Riolo.
Oh, Dave Riolo, cool. So I guess that's something in the second half of the season, and Vegas is, I guess, a stage in that regard, isn't it?
Yeah, potentially for sure. So you just got to, each time you go out there, put your best foot forward.
We're back at Wigan Warriors Media Day, and I've got Jake Wardell here. Jake, I just asked you before I started recording, but there's a whole heap of media here. People obviously can't see, they can only hear, so we'll describe it. But you'd be kind of doing this anyway, is that right?
Yeah, obviously we've got certain stuff on certain days that we like to do, and obviously today is one of them days where we'll have a bit of a gym split. We'll have a few lads in the gym, and then a few lads out on the track, just tidying up skill, trying to get the fundamentals right. Just trying to practice those core skills.
It's really early in the year, isn't it? So this is when I guess you came back in November, did you? And the Southern Hemisphere guys have just got back, this week?
Yeah, obviously with the England test as well, there's been a bit more lads coming in a bit later on. I think the young lads have been in from the back end of November, and they've been training really hard. And from then on, it's just about integrating everyone in, and like I say, I think everyone's in now, so this is time where we can actually try crack on and get a bit more rugby specifically.
Matt, are you thinking about round one, or are you thinking about Vegas?
I think it's hard, obviously, not to look past Vegas, but it's obviously it's one of them. It's a long season, but I think the old cliche, look week to week. We've got obviously a tough test at Lee. Well, Lee coming here on the round one, so I think focus on that, focus on the week after, and then obviously we can look to Vegas and enjoy that whole experience.
Have you been to Vegas before?
No, I've never. So be an experience for me, and I think be an experience for a few of the lads, and obviously the sport's coming over. It's going to be a great occasion, so it's something we're looking forward to.
I think a couple of them have been on for stag do's and stuff, right?
Yeah, I think some of the lads have been on stag do's and things like that, like you say, and they've certainly enjoyed the time, so I think they'll be the ones showing all us the ropes.
Now, tell us, outsiders would go, if you won everything, how do you kind of motivate yourselves, or what's the next Everest to climb? There's one less Everest this year because there's no World Club Challenge, so maybe even your friends and family might even ask you that. What do you tell them,
I think the reason we play the game is obviously to win as many games as you can, so we want to enjoy ourselves whilst we do it, and obviously everyone who plays any kind of professional sport has that competitive edge towards them, so I think my motivation is obviously everyone wants to do it all again, but again you can't look past the league round one, so I think everyone will talk about just do it again, this, that and other, but I think obviously the reason we play is to enjoy it and obviously to win games, so it starts on week one.